If people are going to sing it back at us and are having a great time and have chosen to see us live and have paid their hard-earned money to see us, which is a great honour, then we should take this more seriously now.
Hello there, my music-loving pals. I'm Jim, this is Freshly Squeezed, a new music podcast where each week I'll introduce you to some brand new bands that are tickling my pickle and hopefully tickle yours too. Is that the right phrase? Tickle your pickle? Or is that something, never mind. It's too late now. Let me distract you from that with a little bit of what is on the way on this podcast. Music does not come fresher than the Radio Addicts. Just 14 years of age and already creating a bit of a buzz in and around Manchester with music like their new one, Before My Eyes. I'm going to speak to Luke from the band about that tune and meeting Bruce Springsteen, the boss, in a bit. Also, we're going to hear from a band who are following in the footsteps of the Claws down Birmingham Way. That's new music from the Ansells.
Would you let me know sometime if we can work it out? Feel like I'm falling away from you this time.
More of that in a bit and more from them too. But first, if you went to see White Lies late last year on tour, 2024, you might well have caught a bit of London-based singer-songwriter Lewis Knaggs, who was on support. If you like a bit of Sam Fender, you're going to like a bit of Lewis. I'll chat to him a bit, but first, here's a taste of his brand new tune. It's called Never Say Never.
It was November, the night that we met. Midnight sun in your hair, you didn't care about your regrets. Yeah, it was electric. I know how you're feeling, 'cause I feel it too. Now we're climbing on the ceiling.
That is Lewis Knaggs, Never Say Never. And Lewis is on the podcast. How you doing, mate?
I'm very good, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. So you're a filmmaker as well as a singer-songwriter, and I'm sure you must have considered this question at some point with your music, but if Never Say Never was the title music to a film, what would that film be about and who would be in it?
Well, that's a good question. Yeah, I am a filmmaker. I've been doing it for quite a few years, very much interlinked with my music. Well, I mean, it would have to be some kind of love story, I think. The song is very much about kind of that beautiful first moment of love, and then it over time fading out and figuring out why it might have faded out and not really understanding necessarily at the time why, but looking back at it with rose-tinted spectacles, I guess. Saying to yourself and that person, never say never, despite having moved on and being in different places. So I think the film would have to be, I'd say, set in Amsterdam, because that's kind of where it's about. Do we have to put a star in there as well?
We can leave that for the casting crew when they get to that job.
I'm going too far down pre-production then.
Yeah. Listening to the tune, there's a touch of Sam Fender about it, I think. And I mean, he certainly wasn't the first in this mould, but he seems to have kickstarted this new wave of, I'm going to call it British Americana, if that was a thing. I'm not sure it can be, but you might know what I mean by that. Has his success in that space, kind of the singer, songwriter, big open space music, do you think that's opened the door a little bit wider for acts like yourself and this type of genre?
I would say so. Sam's done great stuff for the Americana and indie rock scene in the UK and Europe and the world, really, which is a nice, refreshing thing to see. I mean, I've been making indie rock, Americana for a long while, and sort of doing it for my own satisfaction and therapy, I guess, to some degree, making music. So seeing him break through and the audience that's clearly hungry for this kind of music, it's inspiring and definitely motivating for sure.
That Americana thing for you, I guess, might be a little bit more authentic because your dad was from California. Do you think his cultural references and maybe the music he brought to you when you were growing up, do you think that informed the music you make now?
Most certainly, yeah. I was just out in California again, seeing some family and there for a wedding, and listening to Springsteen along Highway 101 and cruising around Death Valley back in the day with my mum and dad and sister, and even just with my dad listening to songs in the car. He played me a lot of old school American music, and a lot of Springsteen, Little Feat, and a lot of Stevie Ray Vaughan, and everything from there to kind of the Stones in the early days of the Stones, but it's kind of invasion into America when he was a teenager growing up there. That's definitely been a huge part of my musical kind of journey, I guess. It's definitely formed a huge foundation in the music I write now.
Another part of that journey I read in a previous interview that you did was your early days of music discovery happening via the Tony Hawk's skateboarding game, which I think still happens quite a lot. And it's kind of a newish phenomenon, I guess, people finding music via the FIFA soundtracks, for example. Because that was your experience and because that was part of the way you found music, does that become then kind of a bit of a bucket list thing? Do you go, I really want one of my tracks to be on a computer game at some point?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, that was a huge way to connect with the culture of skateboarding and the music culture that was wrapped up in skateboarding at the time. Those skateboarding videos were like some of my favorite soundtracks and still are. So I would love to have that kind of impact on the newer generation, or whatever generations that are playing key video games, I guess, that have that same kind of cultural impact, I guess. And if my music fits a good game, then I'd be more than willing to probably play it and enjoy people responding well to my songs.
In terms of the tune we're featuring today on Freshly Squeezed, Never Say Never, you've kind of hinted at these already, but your music, I think, feels quite personal with this tune and with previous tunes, like songs like My Father, for example, dealt with the death of your dad. And this new tune, Never Say Never, you say it's about a relationship. How much of your writing process is, and you said the word therapy, so I'm going to use that word therapy back to you. How much of the writing process and getting these emotions and feelings into something creative is part of your personal therapy?
Well, a huge amount of it, really. I've always been making music to either make myself feel better in whatever way, whether it's getting emotions out that sometimes you can't say or tell somebody, but when you put it in a song, it has a sort of sweetness to it that you can share with that person. Or I've written songs before just for friends because I was feeling hurt on their behalf and wanted to, try and help make them feel better. So I'd send them songs, and it's kind of what's led to me releasing a lot of songs, really, is making these tunes for myself or close family members or friends, and then them being like, wow, you need to put this stuff out because it made me feel a lot better. And that connection thing, I think, really is what makes the releasing of stuff feel good, I guess, which adds to the therapy, I suppose. If you can help other people, and a problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. And if you can share it with many people, then it helps myself, but those people too.
Is your emotional response to those scenarios, does that directly influence the feel of the song? Because I look at this song compared to, say, Fireball that came before it. This is kind of like a big, full, like we said, Americana, Bruce Springsteen-esque sound. Fireball was very stripped back and intimate. Does that come from that initial response?
I would say so, yeah, definitely. I think, with Fireball, there was quite a longing for something more than what was served sometimes in life and the world. Whereas Never Say Never was kind of more of a explosion of just wanting to try and feel good somehow and make a song that really uplifts myself and people hearing it,
Before I let you go, we've just ticked into December, so Christmas is around the corner, New Year, new beginnings, etc. If you had one Christmas wish that you could make come true in the new year for you as an artist, what would that wish be?
Well, I would say sold out tour of my favourite venues across Europe. That's my plan.
Ambitious, but good.
Let's go.
Lewis, lovely to chat to you. Really like Never Say Never. It kind of touches on a load of my favourite artists that we've already mentioned, Sam Fender, Bruce Springsteen, some Gang of Youths in there as well. So I'm really enjoying it, but it's been an absolute pleasure to chat to you on Freshly Squeezed.
Thanks so much, Jim. You just named all my favourites. So
there we go.
Gang of Youths are a great one.
Lewis Knaggs on Freshly Squeezed. I mentioned the Gang of Youths thing at the end of that chat. Lewis actually worked with them, I found out. He made one of their videos a couple of years back and will be working with Donny from the band on a future release, which is very cool. Quick reminder, if you're not yet following Freshly Squeezed in your podcast app of choice, then get that done so we can drop you a new episode as and when they come. And if you're new to this show, maybe this is your first time, maybe you're listening in a mate's car on the way to something, make sure you've searched for us and saved us in your phone. Freshly Squeezed, a new music podcast. Search that. It should pop up. Press the buttons. You know what to do. But we crack on, and we crack on with new music from Birmingham and the Ansells. Lloyd is joining me on the pod before we hear their music. How you doing, mate?
Hello, how are we?
Very good, thanks. So brand new tune, Work It Out. It's not just a new tune. It's the first tune that you've released with a brand new lineup as well. Tell me what's changed there.
Yes, we were originally a three-piece, and then July this year we had Josh come in and hit the ground running, I suppose, and we became a four. And we've had a few gigs under our belt now as a four, and then perfect time for the first release with the new expanded lineup.
What was the thinking about bringing someone in? Was it a decision you made where you went, we just need to beef up our sound, we need to kind of increase our live noise, or was it serendipity and you just happened to kind of meet him and felt like he fit?
We definitely wanted more. I think with a three-piece, there is only so much you can do, and you are limited in the sense of playing live. And we always, I think, between us wanted one. It was just the right place, right time, and he came along, and as you said, it would beef up our sound, gives us more options. So yeah.
The new tune, it kicks off and it feels really kind of noughties indie to me. It's got that melodic feel to it. And then it kind of changes into this big soaring anthem, almost like I was thinking a Birmingham version of Embrace. What were your musical touch points on this?
As a group, our influences are so different, and it sort of combines to make this unique sound, I'd say. Me personally, very quite like generic indie rock. So bands like Stereophonics, The Vaccines, The Enemy. And then Ollie, our drummer's into like his Six Music alternative bands. Josh is into like his Irish post-punk sort of stuff, and Paddy like a bit more heavier stuff. So when it comes to writing, I'd sort of get away with like a basic idea on my acoustic guitar, send it into the group chat we have, and then we take it to practice, and it's like a completely different song when everyone gets involved on it. The writing process varies.
I was going to say, actually, because I've heard you boys interviewed before and talking about your influences, and for the most part, you seem kind of pretty aligned in terms of what you like, apart from bassist Paddy, who seems to have, like, he was citing bands like Royal Blood, Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is kind of the heavier side of indie rock, I guess. How do you accommodate those kind of tastes? I mean, it sounds like you've got kind of four distinct styles there. Do you kind of find yourselves wrestling your own corner and eventually it lands in the middle somewhere?
I suppose so. It's never like really been a problem. It sort of just worked. Like when we come to writing, it's more like trial and error. We try different things and just try and find the sweet spot. So it's not something we've really spoke about making it work. It sort of just did.
Recently, you played a gig with The Claws from the same part of the world as you. They've had a bit of a year. Debut album came out a few weeks back. They've kind of underlined their reputation as the best unsigned band in the UK, which they've kind of held for a while now. Does looking at what they're doing as a band, another band in a similar space from a same place, does that give you confidence that you can do the same, you can emulate that, and you can kind of maybe turn what at the moment is maybe a part-time gig or a bit of a hobby, but into something much more serious?
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing it firsthand, with a band like The Claws, it's just motivation and shows anything's possible. And seeing the rise as well, because I've known them for a few years. So just seeing the hard work, dedication and graft can get you somewhere. I think not just us, and not just bands in Birmingham. I think all new bands across the UK, it shows it's possible. And I think it's on the up, like new guitar band music, because recently you've had, obviously you mentioned The Claws, but like the K's and the Royston Club, all with big albums. So I think it's really coming back into the mainstream. I think it's a good place at the minute.
Do you find yourself studying those bands that have had the success and kind of going, oh, what did they do there? How did they structure that? What was their release strategy, and seeing if you can emulate it yourself?
Yeah, I think you have to. I said before about the writing, it's the same with everything else, it's just trial and error, seeing what works. It might not work for you, might work for other people, and then I think you'd pick up along the way how you do it or how you go about it.
Final question before I let you go. And this question can cause some problems when there's a group of people on the interview. So it's probably good that you're on your own, Lloyd. But it's a real test of how tight you are as a band. You have one option to draft in anyone from musical history into the band to join as a member. It can be an absolute legend, anyone you want. The catch is that person you draft in has to replace one of the existing lineup. Who are you going for and who are you getting rid of?
Oh, Jesus. I've got no idea. I think I would get stick for whoever I say, so I'll probably have to replace myself. Like, realistically. Bloody heck. I've got no idea, Jim.
Irreplaceable in that case.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Lloyd, lovely to speak to you. Good luck with the band. Really enjoying the brand new tune, Work It Out, and nice one for joining me on Freshly Squeezed.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Go and pull your heart out. Tell me what's been getting you down. Fast forward to the worst part. There's nobody else around. Isn't it relentless? It never stops forever. Kept it to yourself, love. You didn't think I would care. Really, I'm thinking, waiting for all of this to be over again. Would you let me know sometime if we can work it out? Feel like I'm falling away from you this time.
The Ansells Work It Out, link in the bio for that and more from the band if you want to delve into the back catalogue as well. Equally, if you want to check out any of the bands featured on this episode, then the place to find those links is in the podcast description, including links to this next lot. Now, if you want to be on the ground floor with a new band, if you want to be able to say at some point, I heard of them back when they're headlining Glastonbury or something like that, then this is your opportunity to do that. Get right in on the early stages of the Radio Addicts. They're dead good, but they're also dead young. Just 14 years old, and frontman Luke is on the podcast. Welcome to Freshly Squeezed.
Hello, how are you?
Very good, thanks. Nice to meet you. I want to know, when did this shift in your heads as a band? Because most 14-year-olds, I think, are still kind of knocking about with their mates. They might be picking up a guitar every now and again, but mostly playing video games, playing football, that kind of thing. It feels like for you as a band, it's got a little bit more serious. So when was that shift between just messing about and going, hang on, there's something here that's got a bit of potential?
It felt a bit last year, as we did our first ever headline show last year, even though it was like free entry. But I feel like recently this year, I think it was after All Festival in Manchester, we played that, and then I felt like me and the guys all went, oh, okay, this is actually getting a bit serious now. And it felt like a moment where like we would either be too scared and run away, or we would jump in head first in this and have no idea what we're doing, but we'll love every single second. And that's what we've done.
What was it about that moment that made you go, there is something there? Was it just the amount of people there? Was it that you felt tight as a band? Was it the crowd reaction?
I think mainly for me, this was like 6 weeks before our debut single came out. And when I was on stage, nobody really knew the song. Like, there was clips on social media of it as usual to advertise it. But people were singing the entire chorus of it and the like type part, and I kid you not, like an absolutely baby, I nearly started crying on stage. I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening. I felt like Tom Rylance at every gig, basically, and I was like, oh my, this is real. And it's at that moment, I remember like me and Dan like looking at each other after and flipping heck, this is happening. So I feel like once the people started singing the lyrics back to us, we went, oh, okay, then this is getting a bit more serious now, isn't it? If people are going to sing it back at us and are having a great time and have chosen to see us live and have paid their hard-earned money to see us, which is a great honour, then we should take this more seriously now.
There's a real grit to the records, I think, in terms of the recording, which is a rare thing now in a world where you can get this super polished sound from a bedroom setup. It almost still feels with your tunes, I think, like there's been a tape recorder slapped down in the middle of a rehearsal room and you're hearing everything. Why did you go for that? Why did you want to keep it kind of scratchy and raw?
I think an element of me, right, is that like modern music now, I love. It's the indie stuff, and indie's making a comeback. But the mainstream current music, I really don't like it. Like, everything's so clean and polished and amazing, and be yourself. The world is amazing, and really it's not. It's, let's be honest with ourselves. Lots of terrible things is happening, and these pop stars are having clean tones. Nothing's going wrong. So part of me, I think it's going to be, because I'm on the spectrum as well, is that like, I always want to do the opposite of things. Because the mainstream is so clean, polished and amazing, I want our sound to be dirty, like in a garage band type stuff. And that's the sound I think that I want.
We're going to play it in a second, the brand new tune.
Yay.
Before I do, I noticed in all the info you sent over, there was a picture of you backstage at Co-op Live with the boss himself, Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce, my mate. Oh yeah, Bruce. Just a small mate of mine. Check him out. Check him out. He's a real small artist. He's really made his way up the ranks. I thought I'd go backstage. I'd give him some advice, just as a good mate. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. I just love making that joke about Bruce all the time. Sorry.
In terms of advice, I mean, when you meet someone like that, it must be very tempting to... I mean, how do you do it? Do you play it cool? Do you ask for advice? Do you try and get a support slot? What's the play there?
I feel like, because whenever I meet somebody like very famous, I just get starstruck instantly. But because it was Bruce, I was like, I'm not getting starstruck tonight. I'm going to do it. So like, there was like a line of people and Bruce was going around like shaking each other's hands and stuff. So then Bruce went to shake mine and I went, "Hi Bruce, how are you?" And they went, and then just went down the line again. So but for the 2 seconds that I spoke to him, he seemed like a lovely chap. But like, being serious though, like, he is a really, really nice guy. Like, he gave us all free merchandise and stuff and was giving like advice to like different musicians there and stuff like that. But yeah, meeting Bruce, that was one of the greatest moments of my life.
He's a busy man.
He is.
Got to get on stage and play his 3-hour sets or something like that. Speaking of support slots, you've got some great bands that you're going to be sharing a stage with next year. Spangled, Crystal Tides, All Right, who have all been on this podcast, by the way.
Really? Oh, that's amazing.
How do you pick those bands? How do you target them? Is it a case of, at the moment, it's pretty much, look, you want to get on stage, you want to build your craft, so anything goes? Or is there a criteria where you go, well, they might fit well with our audience? How do you work that out?
We're still building our audience now, and obviously support acts and being a support band is a great way to get a following. So for us, it's like, we love these bands to death. Like, we listen to these bands all of the time. And so then, because we like their music and we will then take inspiration from their music, then hopefully their audience will then go, oh, wow, that's actually quite good. So yeah, I think it's really just that we just love playing live. And whenever an opportunity comes to play with these just incredible, amazing bands, it's the easiest yes of our lives.
Well, good luck with the support next year. Good luck with the new tunes as well. It's really exciting to see a band making waves at this early stage of their musical career. So I'm really excited to see what comes next. And we're going to play a new tune on Freshly Squeezed. Do you want to intro it, Luke?
Yeah, sure. This song is called Before My Eyes. It is off our debut vinyl EP. Go and stream it now, Before My Eyes. And yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is Before My Eyes. Hope you love it.
Don't see the sun in your eyes anymore, but when there's heaven
cool, that, isn't it? Just the right level of still being a bit rough around the edges. I like that. If you're into anything you've heard on this episode of Freshly Squeezed, the podcast description is where you need to head to follow the links to find more from the bands we've featured. Also, make sure you're following this podcast in your podcast app of choice for a weekly dose of brand new music discovery. Speaking of which, did you know that we also do a weekly new music playlist, not just the podcast, a playlist on Spotify featuring 10 fresh tracks every week. If you want to find it, I'll pop the link to that in the podcast blurb too. Right, that's quite enough from me for a week. Cheers your ears. I'll see you next time.
The award-winning Freshly Squeezed, a new music podcast, was devised, produced and hosted by Jim Salveson. Sound design and additional production by Ant McGinley. Theme music, Blue Blazer, is written and produced by Spin Class. Stop.